Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attendance today. Now, let us begin the press conference by the Japan Automobile Manufacturers Association. First of all, I'd like to introduce today's speakers. JAMA Chairman, Masanori Katayama. Vice Chairman, Toshihiro Suzuki. Vice Chairman, Koji Sato. Vice Chairman, Ivan Espinosa. Vice Chairman, Toshihiro Mibe. Vice Chairman, Motofumi Shitara. Vice Chairman, Akira Matsunaga. So these are the 7 speakers for today. And today, we will introduce to you later, but we are going to have Q&A session, and after that, we also have a photo session. So without further ado, we would like to welcome opening speech by Chairman Katayama.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Katayama. From the last conference in May, there has been another major move in the global economy with regard to trade issues between the U.S. and Japan. The U.S. government in April on automobiles and then in May on auto parts issued measures to impose additional tariff of 25%. However, the Japanese government has persistently and vigorously continued negotiations on a wide range of items on the negotiating table. As a result, the negotiations were concluded in July, including the automotive sector. I would like to express my great appreciation once again. The agreed 15% tariff has not been applied since then, but this month, the U.S. government published the official gazette on tariffs on cars and automotive parts, and the new tariffs was applied from 16th of September. The 15% rate applied as a tariff on cars and car parts is not inferior to the rates imposed by the U.S. on other countries, and we would like to thank the officials of the 2 countries again for their efforts. Although this agreement has eased a devastating impact on the Japanese automobile industry, including the entire supply chain, however, the impact of the tariffs on the car industry remains significant, not only for the car manufacturers but also for the entire supply chain. We would like to once again request the Japanese government to continue discussion with the U.S. government towards an open and free trade-based business environment. Next, on to taxation. The board discussed and resolved on the tax reform request for 2026. The details will be announced after this press conference today, but now let me share with you our key request. As I mentioned earlier, the environment surrounding automotive industry dramatically changing, so as not to lose competitiveness and employment of Japanese automobile industry. How to maintain and strengthen domestic production is an urgent challenge. In an increasingly uncertain world and global market, the most reliable and solid access is the Japanese market and the Japanese demand. However, for Japanese car users, vehicle body taxation remains a significant burden, a hindrance to our healthy domestic demand environment. We will reduce this burden and lead to the maintenance and expansion of a permanent domestic demand. By doing so, we will continue to support the domestic production base and the supply chain and solidify the foundations of the industry as a whole. With this in mind, JAMA's most important request for this year is simply to abolish the environmental performance tax at the time of acquisition. There is currently a debate on the abolition of the provisional tax rate of gasoline tax and the associated alternative sources of revenue. We are aware that there have been calls for an increase in vehicle body taxation to compensate for that as an alternative fiscal sources. Seeking for vehicle body taxation as an alternative financial resources to abolishing provisional tax rate of gasoline is like putting the cart before the horse. The JAMA is firmly opposed to any measures that would lead to an increased burden on users. In the first place, the provisional tax rate remains in the vehicle weighted tax. Also, given from the past background of taxation, we believe that it is logical that discussion should be held on this issue, including the treatment of the provisional weighted tax rate.
In this year's discussions on the fundamental review of vehicle body taxation, I would like to see a firm conclusion reached on these long-standing issues with vehicle body taxation, the simplification and reduction of automobile-related taxes, and the creation of tax system that is satisfactory to users. Next, I would like to talk about the 7 issues of JAMA. In order to continue contributing to the Japanese economy as a core industry, we identified themes we need to focus on as 7 issues. And the JAMA chairman and the vice chairman became the leaders of respective themes, and we have been working on them intensively for the past 2 years. As a result, the term 7 issues became widely known. Since this project has attracted attention from people outside the automotive industry, we are able to hold wide-ranging discussions with people from various industries. And this fall, we will report on the progress of this project at the Keidanren Mobility Committee. We are currently making preparations so that we will be able to explain to people in various industries. And in addition, in parallel with this, we are working to review the past business practices, such as passing on labor costs and the mode transactions, in order to accelerate the virtuous cycle of wage increases throughout the entire automotive industry. Regarding fair trading practices, JAMA and JAPIA have held in-depth discussions based upon honest opinions and every other week, and build a relationship of trust. As part of this effort, earlier this month, JAMA and JAPIA jointly sent a message letter calling for further promotion of fair trade practices to strengthen the competitiveness of the automotive industry to over 400 JAMA and JAPIA member companies. Fair trade throughout the supply chain will lead to a virtuous cycle for the entire Japanese economy. JAMA and JAPIA will work together to promote the economic circulation, including wage increases. With a unified desire to lead the way, we will fulfill our responsibility. Finally, the largest event hosted by JAMA is Japan Mobility Show 2025, and it will open on the October 30th at Tokyo Big Site. Last week, we explained the overview of the organizers' program to the media and also introduced manufacturers' exhibitions and the idea and the thoughts behind their exhibitions as the first attempt. Mobility is more than just a means of transportation. They have touched people's hearts and even shaped their memories and values. We believe in the power of mobility, and especially in these uncertain times, we want to bring hope for the future to everybody. At this mobility show, we will work hand in hand with a wide range of industries. We hope you will experience the bright future that mobility brings. At the upcoming mobility show, we will also be focusing upon the love for cars and motorcycles. For car lovers and motorcycle enthusiasts, we will provide you with exciting content. Please look forward to it. Today is the last day whereby Chairman and Vice Chairman of JAMA get together ahead of the start of the Japan Mobility Show. In a time that could be characterized as a national crisis, we would like to express our special feelings about the Japan Mobility Show later in today's program. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Taking this opportunity, we would like to ask each Vice Chairman to share their vision about the Japan Mobility Show. First, we would like to invite the Vice Chairman Mibe to give us an overview of the show and also express his resolve. Over to you, Vice Chairman Mibe. As mentioned by Mr. Katayama, from the 30th of the October to the 9th of November in Tokyo Big Sight, the Japan Mobility Show 2025 will be held. It has been less than 50 days till then. So Japan Mobility Show was refreshed in 2023 following the Biz Week previous time. This is the third year. Following the 2023, we would like to deliver excitement to co-create the future with everyone. So we would like to explore the new mobility's future together. That is the slogan. So since the Tokyo Motor Show with a 70-year history, now we would like to create the mobility future with the dream and the full of dream and a prosperous future. Now, Biz Show, Mobi Show, so we would like to create the future that is what we create together, and we have a vision for a prosperous and mobility-based society full of dream. We have a various idea, and on the 10th of September, we have a Mediatek, the future creation and the culture, along with these three pillars. So on top of the futures exhibition experience, which were popular in 2023, we will focus on the exhibition experience for the past and the future, for the past and the present, the adult and the children who are the lovers of the car and who are those who are not interested in the car. We want to create a mobility show that everyone feel like visiting. So going beyond the 2023, the more than 480 participation from Japan and overseas are expected. So those 480 companies are expected to join, which will be the record high. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, Mr. Suzuki, please. Hello. So back in 1954, All Japan, the mobility or the automotive show, was born, and then it became Tokyo Motor Show. And in 2023, not just the automobiles, but the more broadly they defined the mobility, they came to be featured in the Japan Mobility Show. To Suzuki, well, this is the very important stage for us to materialize what has been regarded as the concept. So we are currently witnessing the major transformation once in 100 years. The global environment, the world surrounding the automobile industry is facing changes. So we should come up with the totally new ideas which are not bound by the past experience. And also we started small, and with that in mind, we would like to take up this challenge and would like to make realize the evolution of our exciting image. And also on the 8th of November at the Minica or the Keika Association, or at the light and the plaza, the Car Japan Mobility Show 2025 will be organized. Well, from Iwate Prefecture in the north all the way to Miyazaki Prefecture in the south of Japan, well, the light truck, the operators and the manufacturers will assemble and they bring on their products that are unique to their regions. And also the Wajima, the morning market, which has suffered the disaster, and they are supported by JAMA, will also participate. More than 50 the trucks will assemble at the fair and the plaza. It is a wonderful opportunity to take a look at all these different types of trucks and enjoy. So please come over. Thank you very much.
I stopped Mr. Mibe's explanation that he finished halfway through. So I'd like to talk about the Honda. Our theme is the Honda's mobility based on the dream which will be expanding into ground, the sea, and the air. So we hope that everyone will enjoy the world view through the ground and the air and the sea. Elite 2 interior mock-up model will be actually displayed, and you will have a hands-on experience. And other than that, at the end of August, in the press release we announced, and we shared some of the display information. If you're interested in that, please check that. And for the future display information, gradually we would like to make an announcement. So next timing will be at the end of September. So not only just seeing, but from the current to the future, the high expectation of the mobility is something you can feel. So we would like to showcase the mobility world that is full of the dream. I would like to expect your participation. Next, Vice Chairman Sato, please. Well, as a mobility show, so this is the second time. And the previous time, the future mobility posture under that theme, there are various displays and exhibition. And the voice of participants was that the appeal of the car is something I really want to feel. That is the feedback we received. So in this show, the appeal of the mobility in itself needs to be disseminated. So we come up with various creative ideas in the exhibition because there are feeling that can be disseminated because it is real things. So the passion of the people is something we would like to communicate as a culture. So I really want everyone to see the actual things, and I hope that you will be energized. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, Mr. Espinoza, please.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. At this year's show, I really hope everybody from all generations feel excitement about the future at this year's Japan Mobility Show.
はい、皆様こんにちは。私は今年のショーであらゆる世代の方にワクワクする未来を感じていただきたいと思っています。
Each of us is at a different stage in life, and our visions of the future may be different, but that's what makes this show so special.
皆さんお一人お一人異なるライフステージで生活していらっしゃると思います。夢見る未来もいろいろでしょう。それによって今回のこのショーもよりお楽しみいただけることになると思います。
I want to encourage everyone not to limit themselves to just one company's booth, but please take time to explore as many booths as possible across the venue.
今回、どこか一社のブースだけではなく、ぜひ各社のブースを回って見ていただきたいと思っています。
There will be a wide variety of displays and vehicles, and I'm sure you will discover a glimpse of the future that resonates with you.
ブースも様々あります。展示車もいろいろです。きっとどこかのブースで皆様の描く未来が見えるはずです。
For the younger generation, those dreaming of stepping out from the world of games into the real world, we will have the latest electrical vehicles.
デジタル世代のお子さんたち、将来のゲームの世界を飛び出してリアルな世界を旅してみたいと思っているところでしょう。そういった皆さんには最新の EV があります。
For active young families looking to create lasting memories in the mountains or by the sea, spacious and versatile minivans will be on display.
また山、海、思い出作りに行きたいというアクティブな若い家族の方々には広々とした便利なミニバンがあります。
And for those who want to casually expand their range of activity beyond the home, there will be compact and easy to drive K cars with advanced safety features, which are a perfect match.
家を出てもっと気軽に自分の行動範囲を広げたいという方であれば、運転のしやすさ、そして安全装備にあふれた軽自動車があります。
And for those who are nearing the end of parenting and are ready to embrace a new chapter in life, why not revisit that youthful dream with a sleek sports car?
子育てがもうすぐ終わる、これから第二の人生を楽しもうという方でいらしたら、若い頃に憧れたスポーツカーに乗ってみたらいかがでしょうか。
At this JMS, I'm sure you will find vehicles that will make your vision of the future even more exciting and tangible.
今回の JMS では皆様が思い描く未来をもっとワクワクするものにしてくれる魅力にあふれた車がきっと見つかるはずです。
We also hope that everyone will be able to feel the potential of mobility, not just of cars, but of mobility and what it can bring to our future.
そして車だけではなく、モビリティが私たちの未来にもたらす可能性についてもぜひ皆さんに勝ち取っていただきたいと思います。
The JAMA, along with all participating companies, is working very hard to ensure this show is enjoyable for everyone.
自公会も各社の皆さんもこのショーをあらゆる世代の方々に楽しんでいただけるものにしようと準備を進めています。
And of course, the Nissan booth will also feature many special attractions for you. Please look forward to it.
もちろん日産ブースもたくさんの趣向を凝らしていますので、ぜひご期待ください。
Thank you very much.
以上です。
ありがとうございました。それでは設楽副会長。
Then, Vice Chairman Shitara, please. Thank you very much for your support and understanding for our activities at the JAMA. I'd like to touch upon the two wheels in relation to the mobility show. This spring, so new category type was added. So now we are in a big transformational period. So this is the area which is closely linked to the daily lives of people. So the motorcycle as a life, and also it should take roots as a culture for this country. So with the entire industry united together, we want to work on reinvigorate this industry. So a total of 5 companies for 4 wheels and 2 wheels. We have prepared the various plan for everyone to enjoy. Talking about our own company, Yamaha, this year, this marks the 70th anniversary since its foundation. And this time for the mobility show, the unique opportunity to explore mobility's future. Under that running slogan, our foundation of creation is the proto model for the development of a human is currently being developed and explored. So we have a very as presentation. So the motivation to enjoy the challenging spirit needs to be pushed. So that is the Yamaha. Yamaha music together with them. Vocaloid, Hatsune mic will be employed so that we can appeal to younger generation. So that is the type of the show we would like to showcase. So please have a high expectation on us. Thank you.
Lastly, Vice Chairman Matsunaga, please. Yes, from the Secretariat. First of all, Japan Mobility Show, has been supported by all those people. I'd like to express my appreciation for the people who have supported the realization of Japan Mobility Show. Each of the vice chairmen and they stated their strong passion and their strong idea about the show. This is not just a place where they simply put their automobiles on the exhibition, but we are working as a one team, and we show the future state of our industry. When you come over to the show, you will notice the unique features of the respective countries and the proposals and the ideas, DX and the GX and the diversity. So that and it characterizes the future, and it makes our life easier. So the exciting the future will be realized with the capability of Japanese manufacturing industry. Now, the Japan's manufacturing industry is facing the difficulty once in 100 years. We do not look at this pessimistically, but we look at this as an opportunity to take up the new challenges, not just to the automobile industry, but to the entire industries of Japan and the future of entire Japan. I hope that this show will lead to the brighter future for everybody. Thank you very much. So much for the passion and aspiration for the Japan Mobility Show by each of the speakers. And now we'd like to start the open the floor for the questions, and please refrain from asking questions about each member company. This is the session from the JAMA, and we'd like to welcome one question from one company. I appreciate your cooperation, and now we'd like to open the floor for the questions at the venue.
じゃあ、今手を挙げられた。
The person who have just raised a hand, we will bring you a microphone. Thank you very much for your explanation. I am Murakami from Nikkan Kogyo newspaper. Well, as I explained in the chairman's explanation, I would like to hear your thoughts on the Trump tariff from April. That additional 25% of automotive tariff is imposed. So each company in the automotive industry is affected in terms of their performance, and both in terms of the export value and also the unit price, they are severely affected. So as a result of reduction of tariff rate, what would be the impact on the industry, or what would be the impact on the business outlook? What is your view on that? Thank you very much. This is an impact of the tariff on the industry. Chairman Katayama, please. Thank you very much for your question. As I mentioned at the beginning, 25%. So from the current 2.5% to 25%. So this is a destructive impact was expected on the industry. That was the initial number. At the end of the day, through the comprehensive discussion, so it was settled at 15%. So out of as members of 5.5 million members of the automotive industry, we really appreciate for the settlement of the negotiation at a lower rate. So the destructive impact on the business environment have been avoided, as you pointed out in your question. But this has a big impact still. So at the individual company, there are some difficulties in their business plan. So we have to take countermeasures for that going forward. But as already explained, basically speaking, in the competitive landscape with other competing countries, this number is not inferior to other countries. With the entire automotive industry united together, we have to increase our competitiveness to push back this kind of environment. So previously it was an unstable situation, but now it is finalized. Therefore, we really appreciate the settlement of the negotiation.
Thank you very much. Next question, please. Yes, a gentleman in the center. Yes, over there. This is Tanaka from Nikkei newspaper. Thank you very much for the presentation. I'd like to ask you about the tax reform. So you mentioned the abolition of a motor vehicle environmental exercise. So there is an impact because of the tariff. And in order to raise the business domestically, the tax reform and also what is the positioning of your statement request? I'd like to welcome your view from a chairman as well as a vice chairman about the tax reform request. Thank you very much. So first of all, this is Matsunaga-san is the probably right person to respond to your question because this is about the tax reform. Thank you very much. So as you mentioned, well, the automobiles at the time of a purchase, in addition to consumption tax, well, the motor tax as well as the environmental additional discount is also needed. And when you own it, the weight tax and also the motor tax are also added, so that makes the burden on the users very heavy. So with that in mind, the production by the Japanese and the manufacturers, we are producing more than 8 million units, and one half for the Japanese domestic market and another half for export. So the 4 million for domestic and the one third. 140,000. That is for the 1.4. That is for the U.S. market. So this tariff and the policy has a significant and devastating impact. Was evaded, but nonetheless, it still has the significant impact on our export to U.S. And including suppliers, we need to maintain the production base in Japan to preserve the job opportunities, meaning that we need to work on the expansion of domestic demand. That is what we need right now. So from that viewpoint, first of all, well, the domestic demand is to be expanded to sustain the domestic and the production basis needed. Well, the so-called the motor vehicle environmental the excise or the discount and the system shall be abolished. That is what we would like to ask for. And also gasoline tax, the so-called provisional gasoline tax rate abolition is being discussed. And as the alternative sources, well, the vehicle body taxation shall be reviewed and changed to replace the funds for the in place for the abolition of a provisional gasoline tax rate. But this is not the right answer because this is just the changing the source, but nonetheless it continues to put burden on the users. Thank you very much for so much for my answer.
So we would like to invite Vice Chairman Sato to make comment. So there might be some repetition. However, this is the burden borne by the users. So it needs to be a convincing taxation from the viewpoint of users. So especially the environmental performance tax. That is the double taxation. In terms of a simplification of taxation and from the viewpoint of reducing the burden, as a JAMA, we would like to strongly demand the abolition. Thank you.
Mr. Mibe, how about you? Do you have any comment or answer? Well, now 15% is the tariff rate. Nonetheless, it still has the significant impact on the business, and the domestic demand expansion to support the domestic production is the urgent necessity, and the alleviation and the simplification of the vehicle body taxation is to be considered. So, as Mr. Sato mentioned, well, the car users, they have to be convinced that these are the necessary tax. And together with JAF and other automobile-related organizations, we would like to continue the education activities as well. That is all. Thank you very much.
One more person, the Vice Chairman Suzuki, do you have any comment on taxation? This should not be a bullying of the weakest. So instead of taxing where easiest, but you have to draw the future for Japan, and then we should come up with the taxation system that will create the domestic demand. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So much for the answers. Next, we would like to welcome questions from the participants online, and we'd like to welcome their questions as well. And I will call your name, so please turn on your video as well as unmute your microphone and start asking questions. So on the PC screen, please use the function or the button to raise your hand. Well, then from online participants, Mr. Terasaki from Best Car, please unmute your microphone and turn on your video. When your face is shown, please start your question. Thank you very much. My name is Terasaki from Best Car. Thank you very much. Yes, please go ahead. Japan Mobility Show, I'm looking forward to that show. But before that, JAMA's 7 issues. I'd like to know more about the 7 issues. So this was announced on the 1 year and a half ago, and you mentioned that the progress will be reported later on. So how are you going to report the progress on the 7 issues? How about the progress? Well, if I may, I'd like to ask the Chairman Katayama, and also from each, particularly for the ecosystem, to Mr. Sato, carbon neutrality, to Mr. Suzuki. If I could address these questions to these gentlemen, I appreciate it very much. Okay, so Mr. Terasaki, thank you very much. 7 issues, and the overall progress report is the first point, and then individual issue. So in our case, number 4, yes, number 4 and number 6, please. So number 4, number 6. Okay, understood. So first of all, the overall progress, Mr. Katayama, Chairman Katayama, please. Yes, thank you for the question. First of all, I would like to summarize the overall progress. 7 issues to begin with. Back then, 2 to 3 years was the scope. So the Japanese automobile industry, in order to step towards the next stage in the future, well, these are what we try to focus upon. So, and in the 2 to 3 years, that is the time horizon we expected at the time we announced this. So the JAMA member companies and our partners alone were not able to tackle all these issues. So it requires, for example, well, the Keidan created the mobility committee, and we are also working together with them to work on these issues. Looking at the overall issues, these activities, already 7 issues have already been explained to you, and I understand that you already know what is meant by 7 issues, and also at the government and also in the industries. So far, automobile was equivalent to automobile industry. However, well, the scope of the industry activities is expanding, and in setting 7 issues, I think this was a successful project to broaden the scope. And at the same time, Japan Mobility Show, we changed the former show to Japan Mobility Show, and this matched the concept of 7 issues. And this time, many startup companies, more than the past, well, they have been involved as well. So looking at the entire picture of 7 issues, well, depending upon the nature of the issues, the timeline of achievement, or the size or the scope of activities may differ from item to item. And I cannot cover all these differences, but looking at the entire project, oh, the activities are taking shape more solidly. So that is how I characterize this activity. Thank you very much.
Then on to number 4. Mr. Sato, Vice Chairman, please. So let me share with you the progress of number 4. This is about stable procurement of resources as well as the commercial policy. As the electrification advances, creating the ecosystem for the battery needs to be established. That is the theme. It is the vein and the artery. So especially for recycling system, creating the mechanism on the part of the vein, we are making progress specifically. However, as for the stable procurement of resources in the upstream, public and private are working together to identify the critical sources and to identify the route, and also we are specifying the activities that will contribute to the stable procurement. So resources by resources, we are already in the implementation phase. As for the ecosystem overall, on the vein side, there are three trials have been implemented. First, the battery in itself, inherent value needs to be visualized. The Japanese version of the passport needs to be identified. So the residual, the battery needs to be visualized so that that can be utilized or recycled for the car and also in a station manner. And once the EV comes to the end of the life, so they are outflow, they are exported out of Japan. So, but those resources needs to be collected as resources that needs to be recirculated into Japan. So demonstration test is done, especially targeting at the country those resources are outflowing to. We are running the demonstration project together with the recycling project. As now we are in the phase of implementation of a specific theme. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And the item 6, issue 6, which is about the green energy. Mr. Suzuki, please. Yes, carbon neutral energy implementation. And the three parties have to work closely together. Three parties meaning JAMA and the PAJ and the Japanese government working together closely. That is needed. Otherwise, we are not able to fully implement this idea. As for JAMA, multi-pathway is the approach we are taking. So gasoline car, diesel car, HEV, PHEV, and also for the units that are currently inhaled and used. For carbon neutrality the wise, this is the right approach. But what we have to overcome, there are certain issues that we need to overcome for the car vehicle side as early as possible. Carbon neutral energy and the power related on the vehicle shall be provided to the users. So as for JAMA, well, the E20 and the based cars are to be provided. And that is what we have to work on. But even with that, realized what is still difficult is by 2040, at the current pace, probably 70% only, I should say, or I don't know if it is only 70% or as much as 70%, but the E20 based the cars will be 70% of the total, meaning that there still remains 30%. As for the vehicle side, E20 vehicles shall be provided and offered. That's what we need to do. And at the PAJ, what they have to tackle is ethanol. How to mix the ethanol to gasoline or the diesel. That is another aspect of this activity. And the gas stations and the service stations, how to operate them. So that's another aspect of the issue for them to tackle. What I'd like to ask the government to do is the stable price and stable supply of ethanol And we expect the government to work on establishing the mechanism to secure the stable supply. And also, E20 certification is not established yet. It is needed as early as possible. Otherwise, we are not able to build cars that are compliant to the regulation. So these are what we need to do, and the three parties working together closely so that the carbon neutral, the fuel adoption shall be promoted. So we used to take these actions separately, but now we are trying to encourage these three entities, three parties are working together more closely so that the carbon neutral mechanism will be implemented as early as possible. Thank you very much. So much for the answers to your question. Terasaki-san, is this okay? Thank you very much.
はい、それではもう一方オンライン
Shall I take one more question online?
野村様
Nomura-san, freelancer, could you please turn on video and a microphone before asking your questions? Thank you.
ちょっと音声が聞き取りづらいんです。
We have a difficulty hearing your voice.
はい、
Thank you very much. Yes, I can hear you. Freelancer, I am Nomura. Please go ahead. As for the mobility show, I have some question. The Mr. Shitara said could you please talk about the specifics about what you mentioned earlier? And as for the motorcycle or two wheels, what are you going to do about the EV? Mr. Nomura, it seems that your voice breaks up. So could you please start it all over? Yes, could you please start it all over from the beginning? The first question is, so the Mr. Shitara, you worked together with other company in relation to the introduction of a new classification and the what should we do about the ICE? And what should we do about the EV? Sorry, part of the voice is inaudible.
今は
Mr. Shitara, were you able to hear? Well, your voice breaks up and we have a harder time hearing your voice.
最初は聞こえております。はい
And the second one, that I asked about the question about the future for the two wheels. What will be the infrastructure development? What will be the future of ICE? So, there any other collective exhibition where the whole company are working together? When you say exhibition, you are talking about the Japan Mobility Show. For your first question, as for the collective or joint exhibition, it is not about the new exhibition. This is about the for the activation of the demand for the two wheels as a new approach. The joint four company exhibition is currently considered. So this is the racing scene, which is the origin of the two wheel, should be focused. So we would like to have an exhibition or display outdoor. Appealing to the five senses, well, baseball or the football or various activities, those sports are able to mobilize the high traffic from the we are focusing on the from virtual to physical. So as the origin of that, we would like to showcase, well, those people who have been interested in the racing in the past, but also those people who want to who would like to get interested in the racing going forward. We want to have a joyful exhibition. Well, based on the revision of the rule, including the web, including the signage, we have some communication activities. According to the report from the National Police Agency, so far, no one was arrested because of the wrong way of riding. So this is effective as a JAMA. So we would like to have a new approach with that regard. ICE and the PHEV, there is no joint exhibition. This will be an individual display by individual company. So I would like to refrain from making comments. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much, Nomura-san, for your question. Thank you very much. Now, coming back to the venue, and in the interest of time, we are going to entertain one last question. And on the right-hand side, there is a gentleman who raised his hand. Ota, I'm a journalist. I will ask Chairman Katayama. Japan Mobility Show 2 years ago, it was hugely successful. And this time, I know that you struggled and made a preparation for the next mobility show. And you talked about the hope for the future. Japan Mobility Show itself, the future of Japan Mobility Show, what do you think? JMS from a mid to long-term perspective, how would you like to develop JMS itself for the future? So, Chairman Katayama, please. Yes, thank you very much for your question. It is the very essential, fundamental question about our activities. Day by day, this is something that we look into this, but we don't have the ultimate answer to this. But 2 years ago, we worried so much about the mobility show. But actually, we were able to start the new mobility show quite successfully. But we just sow seeds for the future. And this time, well, we have to make sure that we water them sufficiently so that we can see the buds coming out from the seeds. But we have more partners than before. Last year, we had the Biz Week, which is another side on the program, which turned out to be a huge success. So we don't have specific idea as to what to do for the future. But we sow seeds and we water them. Gradually, they are taking shape. And they will grow into a large flower in the future. So we currently, this is a more broadly scoped mobility show, not just the motor show. And we are gathering various elements and factors to make it possible. So as the final image, mainly OEM and the base-driven the exhibitions are the main presentations. But the startups, there are more than 100 startups. We are going to have the petite or the small-sized contest, and these will also be embedded into the show, not just the OEMs, but the applications and all the other related activities shall be presented at the show, so that from the consumer's point of view, they will have better idea about the future image. That's what we'd like to accomplish. What we shouldn't forget about, and this is lesson learned in the previous show, but the joy of touching actual cards physically, presented. That is important, and that's what we are trying to do this time. Anyway, we would like to make the progress as much as possible. That's our intention. Thank you very much. Did that answer your question, Mr. Momota? Thank you.
それでは、まだご質問あるかとは存じます。
You may have other questions. However, with this, we'd like to conclude the press conference. As I mentioned at the beginning, Japan Mobility Show is looming large. This is the last one before that. So we have an expression of resolve by each party. And so we will also have a photo session, and we need some time for the preparation for photo session. Please bear with us. And as for the video streaming, it will come to an end. Thank you.